Hey, we have Caitlin Clark making her USA Senior Camp debut. Caitlin Clark basketball slowly yet surely is creeping up.
You have got to be kidding me with this. A'ja Wilson just got hit with the kind of news that is going to follow her and probably haunt her for the rest of her career. And get this, Caitlin Clark just received a golden ticket, an invitation to Team USA's absolutely critical December training camp, the one that literally determines who makes the World Cup and the Olympic rosters. And where's A'ja Wilson in all this? She's stuck at home, watching the whole thing unfold from the sidelines. After months and months of relentlessly throwing shade at Clark, karma just rolled up and delivered the ultimate ice-cold reality check. But before we dive deep into this absolute train wreck for Wilson, I want you to drop your honest opinion down in the comments. Let me know, is A'ja Wilson genuinely jealous of Caitlin Clark? Or is this all just fierce competitiveness? Because I promise you, what I'm about to show you might just change your mind completely.
It's noise that I don't really listen to, honestly, because I'm in season. I have other things that we need to worry about than what other people have to say. I have a scout. I have 11 other minds on my team and in my locker room that we got to make sure that we're on the same mindset. So I really can't give you the best answer on that because I really don't pay any attention to it. My goal is just to go out there and be the best that I can be for my teammates, both on and off the court, and we're going to go out there and be us.
So let's break down exactly what just happened. Because, honestly, the irony here is so thick, you could cut it with a knife. Team USA, now being steered by the legendary managing director Sue Bird, has just dropped their roster for the December training camp at Duke University. Now, let me be crystal clear, this is not just some casual get-together. This isn't a situation where players just show up, shoot around for a few days, and go home. Oh no, this camp is the crucible, where everything is decided. Who is going to be on that 2026 World Cup team? Who will get the honor of being selected for the 2028 Olympics right here in Los Angeles? This is the very stage where legends are born and careers are defined for a generation. And guess who got the golden invitation, the call-up that every single player dreams of? None other than Caitlin Clark. And guess who didn't? You guessed it, A'ja Wilson.
I love Caitlin Clark. Yes. There's no... I think she's amazing. I watched every time I possibly could. And our league loves her. This has nothing to do... We're just doing our job. We're going to show up. Who is ever on the other team is on the other team. We don't really care. We're going to show up and do us. And so I think this narrative of like... Everybody hating on Caitlin Clark, and even the black and white thing, knock it off. It's not there. It's not there. So shut down the noise. And by the way, what is she, 22? She's a 22-year-old woman with a lot of pressure.
She's not perfect.
She's not perfect. She's a rookie in...
Just let that sink in for a moment. Take a deep breath and really absorb the implications. The very same A'ja Wilson, who has spent the better part of the last year taking not-so-subtle shots at Clark, launching petty social media campaigns, and trying with all her might to convince the world that she's every bit as marketable and just as valuable as Clark, has just been left off the single most important roster in all of women's basketball. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is packing her bags and preparing to cement her status as the undisputed face of Team USA for the next decade. You couldn't script a more perfect, more fitting dose of karma if you tried. This is poetic justice in real time.
Affirmation of the delusion and the insanity of black women. But Nike has this gift in Caitlin Clark. Women's basketball, this gift in Caitlin Clark.
The roster for this camp is an absolute murderer's row. It reads like a who's who of the future of women's basketball. You've got Caitlin Clark, obviously. You have Paige Buckers, who is making her highly anticipated senior national team debut. There's Juju Watkins, another absolute rising superstar. Angel Reese is on the list, because apparently they want to keep that electrifying Clark-Reese rivalry going on the international stage, which is honestly a brilliant move. You also have Cameron Brink and Aaliyah Boston, both just incredible, game-changing talents, and to round it out, Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young are there, bringing that crucial veteran leadership. This list isn't just a roster. It's Team USA's blueprint for the next era of global dominance in women's basketball. And A'ja Wilson is absolutely nowhere to be found on it. Now, before Wilson's fans come rushing into the comments to defend her, let's be perfectly clear about what this decision actually means. This is not about questioning Wilson's talent as a basketball player. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is denying that she has been an elite player in the WNBA. The woman has won MVPs. She's won championships. She has been a dominant force in the league for years. But here's the cold, hard truth. Being good at basketball just isn't enough anymore for Team USA. They need players who can represent American basketball on the world stage with class and charisma. They need players who can attract massive global audiences. They need players who can elevate the entire program, both on and off the court. And right now, Caitlin Clark does all of those things better than anyone else in women's basketball. And that includes A'ja Wilson. Sue Bird did not make this decision lightly. We're talking about one of the greatest players in basketball history, and arguably the single smartest basketball mind in the women's game. She knows precisely what it takes to win on the international stage. She knows what kind of players thrive in the high-pressure environment of FIBA competition. And she knows exactly what Team USA needs to not only maintain its dominance, but also to grow the global appeal of women's basketball. When Sue Bird looks at Caitlin Clark, she sees all of that potential in one package. But when she looks at the current situation with Wilson, she apparently sees something that just doesn't fit the culture and the future they are so carefully trying to build. And let's talk about what they're building, because it provides crucial context for understanding why Clark got the invite, and Wilson did not. Team USA isn't just trying to win games anymore. That's the bare minimum. They are on a mission to grow the sport globally. They are actively trying to attract new generations of fans. They are trying to maximize their commercial appeal and leverage their massive platform to elevate women's basketball worldwide. Clark brings all of that to the table naturally. Her games shatter viewership records. Her jersey sales absolutely crush everyone else's numbers combined. Her social media engagement dwarfs that of every other player in the league. Major companies are literally lining up around the block to partner with her. Kids all over the world want to pick up a basketball because of her. That is precisely the kind of magnetic impact Team USA wants at the very center of their program moving forward.
Yeah, she's pretty incredible. I mean, you watch her and it's unguardable. There's nothing anybody can do to stop it. Like, she's just that dominant, whether it's her mid-range game, she can put it on the floor. She's just so athletic, but also she affects the game on both ends. Like, she's a really good defensive player, great rim protector, just so athletic. And obviously, she's been able to shoot the three pretty well this year too. So it's fun to watch. Like I said, like, everybody in the league knows you can't guard it. You basically just live with what she's going to do to you every single night. It's just you contain it as best you can, and she's going to make some shots that are really tough. And like I said, like it's going to be a tall task. It's going to take multiple people. You just hope to contain it the best you can.
Now, let's hit rewind for a second and talk about how we even got to this point, because A'ja Wilson's reaction to Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise has been one long, incredibly embarrassing display of pure jealousy and deep-seated insecurity. It all started with the Nike deal. When Clark signed her absolutely massive endorsement contract with Nike, one of the biggest deals in the entire history of women's sports. Wilson couldn't just step back and let Clark have her moment. Oh no, that wasn't possible. Wilson had to immediately launch her I Have a Shoe Too campaign, posting pictures of her own Nike sneakers all over social media, like a little kid demanding attention at someone else's birthday party. The desperation was so palpable you could feel it through the screen. Instead of celebrating a monumental win for all of women's basketball and recognizing that a deal of Clark's magnitude helps lift all female athletes, Wilson made it entirely about herself and looked incredibly petty while doing it. Then came the endless stream of cryptic social media posts. The phrase, "What is delayed is not denied," became Wilson's personal mantra, posted over and over and over again as Clark's star just continued to soar higher. The implication was painfully clear. Wilson believed she was the one who deserved the same level of recognition and commercial success as Clark, and she was just biding her time, waiting for her moment to arrive. Except that moment never came. Because while Wilson was busy posting inspirational quotes about patience, Clark was out there actually earning her success through sheer performance, an engaging personality, and an unprecedented impact on the sport. The Time Athlete of the Year award, though, that one seems to have really broken Wilson. When Caitlin Clark became the first women's basketball player ever to win this prestigious honor, Wilson's social media activity went into complete overdrive. She started liking posts from random accounts that questioned whether Clark even deserved the award. She shared content suggesting other athletes were more worthy. The level of saltiness was flowing at levels that would make the Dead Sea jealous. Instead of recognizing this as a huge mainstream moment for women's basketball, with one of their own getting that level of recognition, Wilson chose to be bitter about someone else's achievement. Then Wilson tried to claim that she makes the same speaking fees as Clark. Let's just all pause for a second and appreciate how utterly delusional that statement is. Caitlin Clark is the most sought-after athlete in women's sports right now. Period. Companies are throwing obscene amounts of money at her just to show up at their event. She can command fees that no other female athlete, outside of maybe Serena Williams in her prime, has ever been able to demand. And Wilson wants us all to believe she's in the same financial stratosphere. The claim was so ridiculous that it actually made people feel sorry for her, because it revealed just how profoundly insecure she is about Clark's commercial dominance. Every single milestone Clark achieved triggered yet another public meltdown from Wilson. Clark breaks rookie records. Wilson posts about veteran experience and the importance of paying dues. Clark leads her team to the playoffs. Wilson starts talking about championship pedigree. Clark gets featured in mainstream media. Wilson complains about media bias. The pattern was both exhausting and completely transparent. Wilson could not let Clark enjoy a single moment of success without trying to either diminish it or desperately redirect the attention back to herself. And now, here we are. This is the ultimate validation, everything Clark has accomplished, and the ultimate rejection of Wilson's entire approach. Team USA looked at these two incredible players, evaluated their skills, their leadership, their marketability, and their overall fit with the program's future, and they chose Clark. And they didn't just choose Clark, they actively left Wilson at home. That's not a neutral decision, that is an active statement about where Team USA sees the future of women's basketball heading. The coaching staff for this camp includes WNBA coaches like Kara Lawson, Natalie Nakase, Nate Tibbetts, and Stephanie White. These are not people who make emotional knee-jerk decisions. They are professional basketball minds who evaluate talent objectively. They've watched both Clark and Wilson play at the highest level. They've seen how Clark elevates her teammates, how she performs under immense pressure, how she handles her media responsibilities, and how she represents the sport as a whole. And they've apparently seen whatever it is Wilson has been doing and decided it's just not what they need right now. Clark's teammate, Aaliyah Boston, will be at this camp too, which creates a fascinating dynamic. Clark and Boston developed an incredible chemistry during their time together with the Indiana Fever. Boston's defensive presence and interior scoring perfectly complement Clark's perimeter brilliance. You can bet the Team USA coaches are going to be watching that partnership very closely, because if it translates to international competition the way it worked in the WNBA, those two could be the very foundation of Team USA's lineup for years to come. Meanwhile, Wilson is at home, watching her former teammate prepare to build international chemistry with someone else. The young talent at this camp is just extraordinary. Paige Bueckers is one of the most skilled players to come out of college basketball in years. Juju Watkins is already being compared to the sport's all-time greats. These players represent the next generation of American basketball excellence. And they are all coming into this camp as Caitlin Clark's peers and potential teammates, not A'ja Wilson. That fundamental shift in generational focus has to sting for Wilson, who probably saw herself as the veteran leader who would guide these young players. Instead, Clark gets that role. What's really interesting is how fundamentally different Clark and Wilson are in their approach to success and recognition. Clark constantly deflects praise to her teammates. She talks about team accomplishments rather than individual awards. Her social media content focuses on celebrating others and promoting the sport. When she wins, she's gracious. When she loses, she takes responsibility. That authenticity resonates with fans, and clearly, it resonates with Team USA's decision-makers. Wilson, on the other hand, has made everything about herself. Her posts center on her achievements, her recognition, her status. When things don't go her way, there's always an excuse or someone else to blame. That approach might work when you're on top and dominating, but it becomes a massive problem when someone else starts getting more attention. The commercial aspect of this decision cannot be ignored either. Team USA exists in a business environment. Just like any other sports organization, they need sponsorships. They need lucrative broadcast deals. They need to sell tickets. Clark brings all of that in ways that Wilson simply does not. Clark's Nike deal created genuine, mainstream buzz. Her appearances spike television ratings into the stratosphere. Her games sell out arenas across the country. Her social media posts generate engagement that most professional sports teams would kill for. When international broadcasters are negotiating rights fees for Team USA games, they are going to pay more if Caitlin Clark is on the roster. That's just simple economic reality. Forbes recognized Clark's massive business impact by including her on their prestigious 30 Under. That recognition came because Clark transcends basketball. She is a cultural phenomenon who drives consumer behavior across multiple industries. Wilson has never achieved that level of crossover appeal. She's a fantastic basketball player who's good at basketball. Clark is a cultural force who happens to play basketball. There is a massive difference between those two things, and Team USA clearly understands which one serves their long-term interests better. Clark's crossover into the world of golf has been genuinely remarkable. The LPGA Tour has embraced her. Professional golfers want to play with her. Golf brands want to sponsor her. She's bringing basketball fans to golf tournaments and golf fans to basketball games. That is the kind of multi-sport influence that expands everyone's audience. Wilson has never generated that kind of interest in any sport outside of basketball. She's one-dimensional in her appeal, and that limits her value to organizations trying to grow their reach. The viewing numbers do not lie. Clark's games consistently drew higher ratings than any other WNBA programming. Streaming services saw massive subscription spikes whenever her team played. Road arenas that normally sat half-empty were completely sold out when Clark came to town. Local businesses near those visiting arenas reported increased revenue on Clark game days. She created tangible economic activity wherever she went. Wilson's games draw solid numbers, for sure, but they have never created the same kind of economic impact or cultural moment that Clark's appearances generate. Now Wilson has to sit at home and watch Clark prepare for the very opportunities that define international basketball career. The 2026 World Cup will give Clark a chance to showcase her skills against the best players from every single continent. The 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles will be played in front of adoring home crowds who will absolutely lose their minds watching Clark lead Team US. These are the moments that turn great players into immortal legends. These are the stages that athletes dream about their entire careers, and Caitlin Clark gets to experience them all, while Aja Wilson watches on television. The roster construction for this camp strongly suggests that Team USA is building around Clark for the long term. They are surrounding her with young, dynamic talent who can grow with her over the next Olympic cycle. They are creating chemistry right now that will pay dividends for years and years to come. This isn't just about one tournament or one competition. This is about establishing the foundation for Team USA's next dynasty, and Caitlin Clark is the cornerstone of that foundation, not Aja Wilson. Wilson's months of jealous behavior and petty social media campaigns have completely and utterly backfired. Every single attempt she made to diminish Clark's accomplishments only served to highlight her own insecurity. Every cryptic social media post only made her look more desperate for attention. Every outlandish claim about her own success only emphasized how much further ahead Clark truly is in terms of impact and influence. Wilson tried to tear Clark down, and in the end, she only ended up exposing her own weakness. The coaching staff at this camp will evaluate every single aspect of these players' games. Their skills, their leadership, their coachability, their chemistry with teammates, and their ability to handle immense pressure. Clark will excel in all of those areas because she's been doing it at the highest levels since her college days. She knows how to perform when the entire world is watching. She knows how to make her teammates better. She knows how to represent the sport with class and professionalism. Those qualities matter just as much as points per game or rebounds when Team USA makes their final, crucial roster decisions. So there you have it. Aja Wilson spent months trying to convince everyone that she's on Caitlin Clark's level, and Team USA just answered that question definitively. What do you think? Is this decision fair, or did Wilson get royally snubbed? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more coverage of this unfolding drama, hit that like button and subscribe.